Hello, guys. Welcome to Reddit Uncovered. Hope you all are good, and before we jump to today's stories, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below. Also, let me know in the comments on which stories you guys want me to work, and the next video will be on that. Let's get started. Am I the asshole for telling my friend my marriage is falling apart? I, 26F, have been with my husband, 29M, for almost 4.5 years, married for almost 2. And a rule he has felt strongly in our relationship since the beginning is that we never talk to our friends about our fights, disagreements, etc. So for the last 4.5 years, major arguments and hurt feelings, etc. have happened. But I bottled it up, even when I wasn't feeling resolved, and I never told a soul. To my friends, they would think we have a perfect relationship. The last 4 months have been bad. It's hard to put into words, but I've just realized I'm not being appreciated, emotionally understood, and am lacking help. I told him in January I've been really depressed, and he knows unfortunately he is the reason. And even still, I was communicating, trying to repair, trying to fix. And instead of him really hearing and listening to my feelings, we have been getting in more fights. I feel incredibly isolated. I told my new therapist, and she even said I needed to tell someone, anyone. So I told my friend, then I told my husband. I told my friend because I wanted to be honest. He pretty much went nonverbal, and then finally told me he's really sad and feels I was disparaging him to my friend, that I broke the rule, and that he feels they can no longer be friends. Which is interesting to me because if my friend won't be friends with you for something you did, then what makes you think I'll stay? The overall sentiment of the rule I understand, but I don't know if this is normal. I've been only in one other relationship. One concern that immediately came to my mind after reading your not to talk to anyone rule is that maybe it was because he wants to protect the marriage and he doesn't want other people to fill up your mind with all the negative thoughts. But I was wrong. It's more like the controlling and abusing reason. You're not the asshole he is, and I would suggest you to have your go-to safe place ready. It can be anyone, friends or family members, and then talk to him again about it, and if it still seems the same, then you better get a lawyer and move out of it. This reminded of the Darvo, the basic tactic the abuser always use. I genuinely feel sorry for you and hope things gets easier for you soon. That's my take on it, but you guys can also share your opinions in the comment section below. And also, before we jump to the next story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Am I overreacting that wife falsely accused me of putting bruises on her arms? Additional context, my wife and I are currently in couples counseling. Last night, my wife and I got into a heated argument, and during the argument, I told her that things were getting too heated and we needed space to cool our heads. After I said that, she got more infuriated and then proceeded to call her dad and tell him that I put hands on her and now she has bruises on both her arms. As the phone was on speaker, I told her and her dad that was false and had never and would never lay a finger on her or any woman. She kept insisting that I did, and now her arms are bruised. The dad strangely did not say anything, which I thought was odd. If I had a daughter and they called me saying that their husband/boyfriend/partner put hands on her, I would be getting in my car and driving to their house and would call the police. But yet, none of that happened. This morning, during our couples therapy session, we brought up the argument and I told the counselor of the false accusation and told them that it was unacceptable, inappropriate, and completely fabricated to say that. I have and never would lay a finger on any woman. The counselor asked my wife if she did say that, and my wife responded saying, I never said bruises, I said scratches on my arm. I then said that was not true and asked her to show us both her arms, which she refused to do so. The counselor then said, well, it sounds like no one was actually hurt, which made it sound like it was being brushed off as nothing. Am I overreacting? First of all, I am sorry that you had to go through all this. And then second thing is that you need to get a new therapist. The third and the most important thing is that if someone who's already doing this sort of things to get attention or for whatever the reason, then I don't think the day would be far when she can report that to the cops and then put bruises on her arms just to prove her point to the cops. So it's better to get a lawyer before it's too late. And nope, you are not overreacting at all. Ignoring these things now can cause serious problems in the future. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and I'll move to the next story. Am I the asshole for saying no to endless money requests from a distant relative abroad? I'll try to keep this concise, but there's context needed. I have a distant relative abroad on my father's side of the family, who I've met twice in my entire life. The last time being last year. We're connected on WhatsApp the way you are with distant family, occasional birthdays, existing in the background, etc. Nothing more. My family live in London. Last year we visited her and her family, including my father's aunts/cousins, etc. We gave a small gift of around £50 to each person during the visit. Looking back, I think that visit was more of an assessment than a reunion. Shortly after, the messages started. Rapid fire. I need your help. Some money. You help me? Please reply. The relative in particular told me it was for a lawyer for a house sale. After speaking with my father's brother, who lives in London, I sent approximately £900. She promised faithfully to repay it in October when the house sold. October came and went. Nothing. Not even an acknowledgement. Yes, the house was sold. She asked me not to tell my parents, or a specific relatives abroad. I told my parents anyway. Fast forward. She has been sending hello messages every 2 weeks since June last year. Photos of her son, keeping the line warm. It was all calculated groundwork. In February 2026, she targeted my elderly uncle in London, a pensioner in his late 60s, asking for £500. She sent a barrage of messages, panicked, and deleted it, thinking he hadn't seen it. He had on his home screen. She then pivoted to asking if there was a job in London for my husband. My uncle replied politely. That single reply was enough, and she immediately asked for money again, the same £500. She told him not to tell other family members she'd asked. He said no clearly. She said, "Okay, I'll ask someone else," within minutes. That someone else was me. She messaged me again recently. Same vague script. I need your help. Some money. Pals last time helped me die I. No amount, no reason. No acknowledgement of the £900 never repaid. Things to note, they sold their home. Her WhatsApp photo shows a brand new car and Apple Watches. When my uncle said no, she said, "I'll ask someone else," without any real distress. She's been messaging every 2 weeks since June. Photos of her son, casual hellos, all to keep the line warm. She asked both me and my uncle separately not to tell certain family members. She'd asked my uncle and I have been comparing notes the entire time. She has no idea I've ignored all her recent messages. My uncle and I are completely aligned. My parents know everything. I'm not giving her any more money. But am I the asshole for shutting this down completely without explanation? Or should I send a message referencing the unpaid debt first? The reason I ask is because if I explain myself, I feel like I won't really tell her off because it's so unacceptable. My uncle said not to do that as it'll turn into a family situation rather than a simple end to these money requests. Okay, so this is the update on the same post, and after reading this, I'll share my opinion, as it's an extended part of the same story, so I'll be skipping the title, etc. After that post from a few days ago, I told the person in question no and sent a final text, as noted in my previous post. I said, "No, I sent you £900 last year and you never paid it back. I'm not sending you any more money." Her response, "Okay, I understand. I have taken financial help from my friend. Okay?" This not only doesn't acknowledge what I said, but I think she wants to move on from the topic altogether because she doesn't want the old debt acknowledged. And more importantly, to her, she doesn't want this topic to potentially spread. She wants to move swiftly on from it. Also, if she had a friend in her home country that could help her, why harass family in London? It makes no sense. It was all a con. If I had responded, "Sure, yes, how much do you need?" she wouldn't have said, "Oh, don't worry, a friend helped me out. Thank you to everyone who responded. I greatly appreciate it." But a straight NTA, not the asshole. You know, this is what I hate about relatives. And as far as I've seen, that mostly happens in the Asian families. Like whenever one of them goes abroad, the rest starts thinking that he or she has too much money and it's too easy to earn there. They starts calculating, okay, so this much pounds or dollars she's earning there. Dude, no, that's not your headache. How much the other person is earning. And then for 1 second, if we leave the money part, the basic ethics says that you borrowed money from someone in your hard time and she's helped you with it, so now without her asking for it back, you should return what you've borrowed. But nah, these sick people just always try to find a way to con someone who's genuinely helping them. I am sorry, guys. I got furious. That's because I have seen so many cases like these, and people never understand how much hard it is to earn, no matter wherever you are in the world. And it is so wrong and unacceptable. You know what? You should give her a shut up call and let other of your relatives also know what she's done and what she's always looking to do to anyone. The next time anyone talks about her, you should bring this up. Like, people like her never really learn from their mistakes. That's it, guys, from me on this one. You can share your opinions in the comment section below. All right, guys, this is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit the like and subscribe button below. It really means a lot to me. Also, feel free to share your opinions in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.